Good morning everyone. My name is Angelica C. Arguelles from BIT 3A. So for today, we will going to tackle about the digital literacy in the 21st century. So at the end of these lessons, we are expected to know the digital skills that we need to become digital literate. We will know the importance of being digital literate, and lastly, we will know the examples of digital literacy. The table of contents of my lessons are as follows. Number 1, the 8 digital literacy skills that we need to become digital literate. Number 2, the importance of being digital literate. And lastly, the examples of digital literacy. The first one that we're going to tackle are the 8 skills that we need to become digital literate according to Lynch 2017. So, the 8 skills that we need are as follows. Number 1, coding. When we say coding, it's a universal language. Basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and the like will create a shared understanding of what we can be done with the web pages. So in coding, it is our ability to read, write, and modify computer code in order to create or tailor software and media channels, like creating e-portfolio and QR code. So, number 2, collaboration. When you say collaboration, it's the use of Google Docs, among others, allows students to begin experimenting with effective online collaboration. So, here in collaboration, we use technology to effectively collaborate with each other for a specific purpose, allowing for the co-construction of knowledge. For example, you have a work, then in your work, you are assigned to present together with your group mates. So, here, you can use digital platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, and etc. to plan and talk for that presentation together with your group mates, like brainstorming as a group. Because getting together as a group, you need to share your ideas for the presentation of your project. So number 3, we need to know how to use cloud software because this is an essential part of document management. The cloud is used to store everything from photos to research projects to term papers and even music. So number 4, we need to know how to use word processing software. Word processing software refers to the act of using a computer to create, edit, save, and print documents. So here, we compile our documents through a word processor. It can either the electronic device or computer software application. The examples of word processing software are MS Word or Microsoft Word, WordPad, or Notepad. So number 5 is screencasting. When we say screencasting, it is a video recording using the computer screen and usually includes audio. On the other hand, when you take a picture on the screen of your computer, it is called a print screen. But both can be used in explaining topics as well as providing a visual support to clarify what you're thinking. So here in number 5, screencasting. When I say screencasting, it is a digital video recording of your computer screen and usually includes audio narration. Not unlike a screenshot or print screen, they are just the screen capture of your computer screen. But both are great way to teach or share your ideas. So, the examples of instructional uses for screencast are lecture capture, such as narrated PowerPoint presentation. So, number 6, personal archiving. The term personal digital archiving refers to how individuals manage or keep track of their digital files, where they store them, and how these files are described and organized. So, when we say archiving, from the word itself, archive, sometimes we archive our messages, files, etc. for a specific purpose because people keep personal archives for reasons that may be simultaneously sentimental, practical, and even accidental. So, number 7, information evaluation. It is the ability of an individual working independently or with others to use tools, resources, and processes and systems responsibly to assess and evaluate information in any medium. So here, information evaluation, we evaluate information in any medium and we use that information to solve problems, communicate clearly, make informed decisions, and construct new knowledge, products, or systems. So here, information evaluation, we can identify what's the authentic news from fake news because we are reminded that all the things that we can see on the internet are not true. And lastly, we are aware of the information that we're sharing on social media, if it is reliable or not. Because if it is not reliable, we can affect someone's life. So, number 8, use of social media. Social media allows individuals to keep in touch with friends and extended family. Some people will use various social media applications to network and find career opportunities, connect with people across the globe with like-minded interests, and share their own thoughts, feelings, and insight online. So here in proper use of social media serves different purposes depending on the use, the need, and the technology. So based on my slide, some people use social media to find career opportunities, connect with people across the globe, and share their own thoughts, feelings, and insights online. So other people use social media to share information and make connections. On a personal level, social media allows us to communicate with friends and family and learn new things, develop our interests, and be entertained. For example, the student realized that Twitter can be useful for staying current on the latest news in the field. But take note, we need to be careful and we need to use social media in a right and proper way. Those are the 8 skills that we need to become digital literate according to Lynch 2017. So the next topic that we're going to tackle is the importance of being digital literate. Becoming digitally literate taught us how to develop technological skills, learn authorship rules such as copyright and plagiarism, understand how to assess online information, and learn social responsibility while interacting on social networks. Because becoming digital literate, we are being able to understand the use of technology. Digital literacy skills allow us how to find, use, and create info online in a useful and productive way. Having an understanding about digital literacy skills and becoming digital literate, we are being able to use technology safely, and it helps us to avoid its dangers. So the last topic that we're going to tackle are the examples of digital literacy. Number 1, the understanding how to use web browsers, search engines, email, text, wiki, blogs, Photoshop, PowerPoint, video creation / editing software, and etc. to showcase learning. Because being digital literate, it helps us to create new ways to teach and learn within other people. We are discovering new ways to interact with our interest online and through other digital media. They are no longer confined to just physical text when it comes to reading and learning more about their possible interests. We also improve our writing, reading, listening, and speaking skills. We are getting to use authentic materials, increasing frequency of digital technology use, and it enhances our online collaboration between other people. Number 2, evaluating online resources for accuracy / trustworthiness of information. Because becoming digital literate, we are being able to evaluate information. We can identify what's the fake news from authentic news, and we are reliable on what information that we're sharing. That's the end of my presentation. The 8 skills that we need to become digital literate. The second, the importance of being digital literate. And third one, the examples of digital literacy. I hope you learned a lot on my presentation. Once again, my name is Angelica C. Arguelles from BIT 3A. And this is a video reporting about digital literacy skills in 21st century.